What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Conversations Unleash, Rising Together. If you're watching this or listening to this right now, first it's a podcast in the car, but because it's 2024, as I told you last year, I have now added a video component to this podcast, and I'm super excited about it because you know me, I believe in scaling and getting better at least 1%, right? And y'all, we're in the new year. Can you believe it? We have made it. It is 2024. The first week of 2024 is already starting to dwindle down and end out, and I just wanted to welcome you. I wanted to welcome you to a new year. I am so glad that we're here. We're alive. We made it, right? And I wanted to stop by on today because every year we all know that people are trying to set new goals. People are trying to set new goals, everyone. They are trying to figure out ways that they can be better. And I laugh because one of the goals for me is to get better in better physical shape. And y'all, I went to the gym the other day and the gym was flooded. But the reality of it is, will the gym be flooded a month or 2 months from now? And what I've learned even within myself is that sometimes we set these huge, gigantic goals, but we fail to recognize big change or big results don't come from big changes. They come from small incremental changes. And that's why for me, y'all, I have personally decided that I want to be 1% better in every category. 1% better in every category because with those little changes, I can make a big difference. So on this year, even though we're in 2024, I still think back to 2023 a little bit. Right? I hope you do as well. It's because reflection is a beautiful thing. It helps you avoid mistakes. But for me, there were three areas that I intentionally needed to get better at. And I want to talk to you about those three because you know this podcast, it is 10 minutes and we're getting straight to it. So because of this, let's dive right into it. The very first one that I knew and know I need to improve on, everyone, it is discipline. Discipline, discipline, discipline. I hear a lot of people say that your goals are on the other side of discipline. I saw another quote that says, motivation can only last for so long. There's a point where discipline must take over so that you can be consistent in the actions of the goals that you're trying to achieve. Now, why do I think everyone needs to be disciplined? Well, I know for me as a trying to be a successful black man, a successful son, a successful teacher, a successful businessman, I'm gonna have to be disciplined. Discipline in making sure I turn my grades and stuff in on time, because Lord knows I need to get disciplined with that. Discipline in making sure that I'm turning in and giving the house points and contacting parents. Discipline in making sure that I'm reaching out to those, my loved ones. Discipline in getting my tall behind up, as you can see, because now we got the visual component to this, right, on this podcast, y'all. Getting my butt up and going to the gym when I need to get to the gym. Discipline is the key factor. It is a key ingredient in order for someone to be successful. But unfortunately, everyone does not have that trait, and I believe that it's something that we must continually work at, continually build at, continually grow at. So, on today, I want to ask you, how disciplined are you? How disciplined are you? And you know what's a good key indicator if you're disciplined or not? How many times do you hit the snooze button when it's time to get up? This is something I have to fix myself, y'all. I'm now moving my phone to my nightstand, and I have to now take my Apple Watch off because even this morning I had my Apple Watch off my phone on the nightstand so I wouldn't be on my phone, and I'm pressing snooze on my Apple Watch. So there are areas that I can still improve on, but discipline is definitely number one. Let's go to number two because I think this one is good and it's extremely important. This one, everyone, is body and health. Not only just my physical appearance, everyone, but my mental and emotional state as well, because they all correlate together. And why do I say this? Well, it's no secret that America, when it comes to food, we have a lot of issues going on with obesity and things inside of America. And what I've recognized, everyone, is that when I get up and I run a mile in the morning or I get my body moving in the morning, the amount of dopamine that surges through my body is amazing. Most of the time, my lessons are incredible because I have the energy going. And what I found in this social media world, everyone, this area where everyone is a millionaire, everyone has a business, everyone is successful, everyone is a leader, everyone has the title of a CEO, everyone is the best teacher in the world. What I have found out is you can have all of the accolades in the world, but if the temple that you're living in, you're not taking care of it, that enjoyment of your success is only going to last for so long. And I don't know about you. I plan on being here another 50, 60 years, helping teachers, helping kids, helping families, giving back to the community. And I can't do that if I am bedridden because I didn't take care of my body now. So, y'all, believe it or not, as a former college athlete, I hired a trainer. And this week, I've been trying to get in a groove of following the training plan. I went to the gym last night. It kicked my behind. I was struggling. If there was a video being released of me working out last night compared to me being a former Division I athlete, it's a drastic difference. But in this muddy area, in being uncomfortable, in me barely being able to get through all of the burpees in 2 minutes, I recognize that this is the ugly stage. And it's not going to be like this forever. That if I just press through this hard point in time, I'm good. Because what I've learned about the body, everyone, and is working out as a goal, is this. For the first 5 minutes, I hate it. But after the 5 minutes, I feel amazing. I feel amazing. So one thing I want to challenge you on today is, how in shape are you? Are you in your BMI range? How are you handling stress inside of your life? I did a previous episode on the podcast last year talking about the dopamine effect, right? The dopamine menu. How well are you taking care of yourself? Now, I know in the education field, and I'm going to lean into this one, all right, even in the business world as well, you have people that are saying, don't do self-care, or it's not that important, or you have individuals that are sort of against it, and I'm not using self-care as an excuse. What I am saying, though, is this. The level of love that you show yourself is extremely critical, because the clientele that you serve and the people that you serve are only as good as you are. So if I come into my beautiful classroom, as you can see on YouTube right now, and as I describe it inside of this podcast, audio version for those that are driving, it has glow-in-the-dark lights, and it's gorgeous, and there's seating all around. And if I come in this joker and I am not on point, I am down, I am frustrated, I am stressed out, I am depressed, I am out of shape, my students are going to feel that in the way I present, teach in my pedagogy, and the way I give them the curriculum. So, y'all, are you taking care of your body? And the last one that as I reflect from last year, everyone, is this. I need to learn how to deal with people better. I need to learn how to deal with people better. And I say this because, everyone, social capital, which is basically your investments with people around you socially, is extremely important. But what I'm learning right now is that as you continually grow, people are seasonal. I'm seasonal. I am a branch in someone's life where I'm there for a period of time, but I break off when the season comes. I'm a leaf in someone's life where I flow based upon the season. And I'm a root to some people. I help feed them. I'm an important part of their support system. But there were times in my life where I have messed up in how I categorize people and how I handle people. So in the past couple of years, there has been times where I was frustrated. And you know what I did? I went on and cut people right on the way off. If I see a snake, cut that snake head all the way off. And there's two things wrong with that. Number one, I have learned now that when I identify a snake in my circle or around me, okay, whether professionally or personally, I don't immediately cut their head off. Why? Because I need to see how they are moving and who they are moving around and how they operate. That way I can keep my eye on the situation that's happening. Not only do I not cut their head off quickly, everyone, but check this out. I have learned that when you're expanding and God is releasing you to a bigger territory, or you're growing inside of your professional realm or your community, check this out. Your land is growing as well. And when your territory expands, everyone, hear me, more than likely you're going to have more snakes on the territory. You're going to have more critters and individuals coming to try to see what's going on. And the success that you are hoping to have is dependent upon how you handle people. So in these three categories for myself, I have learned, y'all, in this 10-minute podcast as we wrap this bad boy up. Number one is discipline. How disciplined am I going to be? Number two, when it comes down to the body and health, are you actively taking care of yourself? Because what good is life if you can't live long enough to enjoy it? And three, how are you handling people around you? Now that we have this on YouTube, now we have this audio, and we're about to release it out to the public, I want you to let me know in the comments. Let me know in my DMs on Instagram if you want me to elaborate on any of these points, because I believe it is going to be extremely important for us to be active and progressive towards our goals, but in the small incremental things. and the small incremental things, all right? Now, as we wrap this podcast up, you know this is a new idea that I have started. If you're now watching this visual piece on YouTube, or you're now listening in on the audio on Apple or Spotify, I see my Apple listeners and Spotify listeners, please know this podcast has been going on for about 2 months now. And I intentionally was doing it privately so I can release it to the public now, because I was working on being disciplined and consistent. So if you're enjoying this episode, if you're loving this podcast, if you're loving this visual YouTube, let's send this to someone. Send it to your family members. Like the video, share it out, like the podcast, rate it, give me a 5-star, give me some comments and stuff so we can keep making this thing better. As always, you know I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you're living your best life. And if you're not, things will definitely get better. And never forget, legacy over likes. Peace.